As hand spinners, we often have 100-gram or 4-ounce skeins of lovely colourful yarn. And it's great to have a project that uses the whole thing. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing a lovely bobble hat with you that uses between 75 and 100 grams of yarn. And it's in a new book, or new to me book, which I'll also be sharing. I'm also going to be looking at spinning from a batt. And it's a batt that I'm actually going to create on a blending board rather than on a drum carder. My name's Becca and I'm a hand spinner, knitter and would-be weaver, and you're very welcome to my home in West Wales. So the first thing I want to share with you in this episode is this lovely book, Knitting from the North by Hilary Grant, and it was published in 2016, but it is actually still in print, and which I have to say is quite unusual for me because quite often I've got quite old books, but I thought I would share one that's up to date and you can still get a new copy. And what I'm going to share with you is this lovely bobble hat, and this is what I'm going to be putting on the needles next. And it is designed for a 4-ply, I think in the States you'd call that fingering weight yarn. All the projects in this book are designed for Jamesons of Shetland, and I'm pretty sure they're all 4-ply. And 4-ply for a hand spinner is roughly 14 wraps per inch to maybe 18. I mean, wraps per inch are a really inaccurate way of measuring your yarn, but they are a way of giving you an idea as much as anything. So I think when you are spinning and you do your wraps per inch, actually knit up a tension square as well, and then you will know sort of for sure whether you've got the right weight. But as with all good knitting books, it does actually give you a tension square measurement, so you know how many stitches you need per 4 centimeters, no, 10 centimeters, 4 inches. I'm trying to switch between inches and centimeters, and it really, my brain doesn't really do it very easily. But I think 10 centimeters is roughly 4 inches. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, please do. So the other thing I love about this book is that it's got lots of smaller projects, and we quite often have, again, these smaller amounts of yarn. It also has lots of colour work, but it's quite simple colour work. So it's 1 or 2 colours, or 2, it's not complicated. And so it means that you can actually get a project that you're going to have enough hand spun for, and you're going to be able to create something fairly quickly. It also has jumper patterns. I'm not a big jumper knitter myself. I kind of get a bit bored, if I'm absolutely honest, and so I do prefer a simpler, quicker project, which I think will become self-evident as these podcasts go on. I don't know whether I'm calling this a podcast or a vlog or just videos. I haven't quite decided yet. Maybe you can tell me, is this a blog or a vlog or a podcast? I don't know. Anyway, so that's what I thought I'd share with you. I think it's a great book. You can get it secondhand. This was my secondhand copy, but it is also in print. So the next thing I want to share with you is how we go from this colourful bundle of fibre to something like this. And we're going to be looking at spinning off a batt. I'm going to make a batt on a blending board. I think, as I said in the introduction, traditionally we think of batts as coming off a drum carder, but you can make really lovely batts on a blending board. You're not going to have as much fibre as you would on a drum carder, but they still work. You can diz them off, you can turn them into rovings, but what I'm actually going to do is just literally pull them into chunks and then spin off the corner, I think is probably what it would be called. I want to say spinning off the side, but maybe spinning off the corner is more accurate. So we'll go to the blending board and have a little look at that. Purple is just about my favourite colour in the world, and this is Comb Top British 56, I think they call this, from World of Wool. And it's very similar to something like Corriedale. And you can see I made it a bit stripy. I could just split this down, spin it up. It would look fun. I could also ply it with a white to give it a barber pole effect. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a batt on the blending board, and I will show you my process for doing that. And I'm going to just have these pops of colour, and this is lap waste from my stash of fibre, and you can see I've picked out a few really vibrant pops and contrasting things. That is obviously not going to be the main focus. The predominant colour is going to be the purple, but just every so often when I'm knitting it up, there's going to be these really vibrant pops of colour. And personally, I think that's going to suit my style. Obviously, you know, it's not going to be everybody's style, but I do love nice vibrant colours, and I do love playing on the blending board. So let's get the blending board out and create a batt. I'm putting on the thin layers because when I spin this, I want the layers to be separated, and by lifting off as a whole batt and then dividing it into sections and spinning off the side of the batt, I will get those colours as quite distinct and not muddy and blended together. I will also have quite a lot of air in the yarn, making it soft and lofty, ideal for making a woolly hat. I could spin off the ends of this, that would also work, but I would have less air, so a less lofty yarn. But by spinning off the side or off the corner of the batt, the fibres are going in different directions, therefore they're trapping more air, which is going to make a much warmer yarn. I have complementary colours in here, so if I pulled this off into a roving or I dizzed it off, I would have the danger that those complementary colours would blend together and I would get a muddy coloured yarn. I hope you found that useful. If there's anything you think I should have mentioned while I was creating that batt, please pop it in the comments so that we can all learn from each other. So until next time, happy creating, and I'll see you soon.